Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about Utawarerumono Mask of Truth on episode 26 or Futari no Haku Oro on episode 26. Now, this episode right here looks like to me we're about to reach the end of all things, you know? So, if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that the change of Kusanagi, Sara, and Urada decides to make their attack on Woshis, who apparently is in a cocoon, you know? But we have too that their attacks become useless and they were very close to being killed. Eventually, Haku and the others show up and they end up trying to clash or stop Woshis from being a freaking crazy monster, you know? However, we have to it that Kuon tries to go through or break the egg, but it's being overly powerfully protected. And we have to it that Kuon was about to maybe use more of her power inside of herself, but Uturi warns Kuon not to ask for it because it may end up costing her everything. With the help of Fumiriel, her caretaker, pretty much tells her not to do it, you know, and Kuon therefore stops herself after much hesitation from hearing that scream from her. Eventually, Haku gives himself no choice but to activate the Akurata mask that he has on himself, and therefore, goes into his, monstrous form. He therefore manages to crack open or break the egg of, that Woshis was in, and we had to it, Woshis clashes against Haku by blasting him with a lot of projectiles. However, Haku, knowing that he's at his limit and that he's about to die anyway, which was hinted in last week's episode and in this episode, knowing that his body's breaking down, Haku decides to, ask Akuraka give him more power by devouring his entirety of his soul, you know, his entirety of his life. And therefore, we have to it, eventually he therefore manages to get close to Woshis enough for him to deliver the final fatal blow and ends up killing him at last, where Woshis can finally be with his mother and father and that he is finally free from all of his misery, you know, which is kind of sad and tragic but bittersweet, knowing that he no longer has to live in a world where he's in agony all the time. Eventually, Oshtar's identity will later on be revealed, and it's Haku, you know. Everyone was actually shocked, but many of them actually knew that Haku was Oshtar, which is Atui and Rulite, you know, that kind of thing. Eventually, Haku says his goodbyes and therefore tells everyone what's up, you know. Well, okay, he tells them what to do, etc., as it'll be his last time being with them, you know. Eventually, we have to it that Haku, after saying his last words, he says his last words to Kuon and ends up apologizing, knowing that this job was put onto him, and it was because of her that he was able to get out of it. However, as Haku finally dies and disappears completely, knowing that he overworked himself with the mask that he was with, you know, etc., we see to it that Kuon could only be filled with despair, and the inner darkness of herself tells her to you want power, get your mother and Haku back, then let me help you. Ask for power from me right now. And in despair, Kuon therefore ends up transforming into something very, very, very scary and possibly something hideous to come, you know. And the episode ends up there with Kuon getting wrapped up in black energy tentacles or something like that and so forth. And we have to it that eventually the episode ends up there. So yeah, pretty much they clash against Woshis, but only Haku was able to do that, and later on has his life taken away. Kuon feels despair and later on ends up using the power within her, ending the episode. So yeah, looks like to me we're about to get very close to the end. There's only 2 episodes left, the next episode and the one after that. So yeah, anyway, so until then, people, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-ta-da!